You're now tapped in to the Amor Fati podcast with Mavi and Raw. Stay tuned to catch some of the most legendary and masterful conversations the world has ever seen. Two goats on the mic, going back and forth and debating about the world's most interesting topics. You are now watching episode 2 of Amor Fati.
Welcome to the Amor Fati podcast. That's capital A-M-O-R, capital F-A-T-I. You tuned in with Mav.
This is Raw. Let's talk about it.
Let's go. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoy our content. Also, click the bell icon so you get notified every time we drop a video.
That's a good idea.
You know what I mean? And last but not least, if you don't want to miss out on the greatest conversations in the world, go ahead and donate to our Patreon. We left it in the link below. Come fuck with us, y'all.
Brought to you by the realest niggas on earth.
Period. What you mean?
My boy.
What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. Another day of greatness. You know
feel
what I'm
me?
saying?
Yes,
You know
sir. This is how we do it.
Hey, boom, boom, boom. Hey, this is how we do it.
Hey.
Hey, Raw shot in the building. Like, how the hell you shoot it?
What?
Hey.
Man, let's get into it, man.
Let's talk about it, man.
So, I think last time we left off on Michael Jackson and Drake.
Aw, damn.
We left off on the greats, on the goats, you know.
Damn. Niggas ain't even do advertisers today. We doing straight entrees.
We're going straight to it, man.
Yeah.
We getting
This is
straight
like
to
this
it.
is like when you're in Chili's and they bring that hot ass fajita
Yes,
out.
sir. We getting straight
Damn,
into
what
it.
the fuck they got going? Let's do
Straight
it.
into the meat and potatoes. So I think last time we left off, we both agreed.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson. Easily.
Gotta be.
But just to be devil's advocate, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go Drake today. And we're
Okay.
gonna go ahead and debate it out. So
All right.
I'm gonna let you start out first.
Well, my ancestors are telling me. No, I mean there's so much. There's so much that comes with Michael Jackson. I mean, you can even argue the fact that Drake doesn't have a position to even be in the place he's in right now without MJ.
Right.
And I know that's like a long-term reach a bit, but MJ, man, I'll go back to what I said last episode. This man was trying to perfect his overall production after plenty of awards, after all the love,
Right.
after all the fan, after all the accolades. I think that Drake can play on like Drake has social media. Drake has like everybody engaged in so many different facets. Michael Jackson was in a day and age where for example, let me give you an example. A guy at my job told me like he remembers when Thriller came out. He was at a house party about like 50 people and everybody's bumping, doing their thing, and then like when I don't know the network, when they aired Thriller, everybody ran downstairs. You know what I'm saying? Like nigga, let me see. And I think that like Michael Jackson was just like the start of this super fandom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not like the start of like mega fandom, but
Right.
like super fandom. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's true.
And I think that like
Michael Mania was a thing in the 80s.
and Drake makes rap music. He makes R&B music and he makes pop music. Michael did as well, but I think that like Michael's music penetrated a little bit deeper
Right.
into like the masses. You know what I'm saying? There's some people that'll be like, with Drake, but I feel like you meet less of those people in the world
Right.
than you do people that are like, it's just Michael. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never heard, it's just Michael. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's like being like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like it's just Steph.
I agree.
It's just Tom Brady. You just don't hear that. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
true. I think his musical ability and talent and greatness was never questioned.
Never.
But it was
Never.
just his personal life that was in the scrutinized in the spotlight.
For good reason.
For Drake, he does have that ability to like also have like his album releases be events.
Right.
But there's like maybe because there's social media now, Michael Jackson wasn't subjected to that.
Right.
But there's high levels of scrutiny of Drake's music.
Yeah.
But I think that maybe because there wasn't social media during Michael Jackson's time, we never got to see that level of scrutiny. Because there's people that's always going to be critical
Facts.
of music. And,
Yeah, like that nigga not really moonwalking.
right. Something.
It's something going on in that stage.
He in too much.
The fuck he grabbing his nuts for? Like, I get it.
So, you know, I would say that in defense of Drake, he is very popular in a time where it is like a very saturated field in music.
Yeah.
More than in the 80s.
Yeah.
And he's dropping at a volume that's higher than Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
As well. Michael Jackson dropped, Thriller and Bad, I think 4 to 5 years apart.
Right.
The hype train stayed very, very high during that period of time.
Right.
But I felt like with Drake, he's just been nonstop since he's been out.
Right.
And I think the reason why we compare them is because when you are just at the top of your game for so long, which Drake has been and MJ was for decades.
Right.
That's the only two. He's the only, like, Michael Jackson's the only person Drake can be compared to.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
So, let's take a look at it. I got a couple of stats here.
Oh shit, LeBron James.
I got a couple receipts. You know what I'm saying?
LeBron James. Now that I think about it, off the top of my head.
So, I'm looking at an article here, and it talks about Drake's all-time sales.
Okay.
Looks like his stats come in at about 170 million records worldwide.
Damn.
He's got over.
Damn. 170 million. Let's think about that real quick.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of people, bro.
Yeah. It
That's
puts
a
him
lot
in
of
like
people.
the highest percentile of artists. So he's among the best-selling music artists in history.
Yeah.
He's achieved 12 number one albums on the
Okay.
Billboard 200 and 11 number one hits. Well, I think this is older. So he's achieved 14 now at this point.
Okay.
If you include Sicko Mode.
Okay.
He's technically, if you're being technical, he's tied with Michael after the first person shooter just went number one with J. Cole.
Okay.
And Billboard hailed him as artist of the 2000s decade, which is huge.
Wow.
Meaning out of all the artists that went, you got the biggest 2010s artists like Katy Perry and Adele and Beyonce and Rihanna and Eminem, and the list goes on and on and on. Post Malone and The Weeknd. I mean, he was the top guy.
Top two, and I'm not two.
You know what I mean? So, and then
Goddamn.
you got for Drake, it's like he's got, Take Care that went 6 times platinum. Views 6 times platinum. Scorpion.
What does that even mean to go 6 times platinum? Like,
So platinum is 1 million records sold. So he went 6 times, 6 million records and counting, basically. So that's like a
So
lot.
he's just sitting there with his phone. It's like, boom, you went platinum. All right.
And
boom,
by the
you
way,
went
this is
platinum.
in the age of streaming. So these units that they're counting as
And-
like a,
yeah.
it's like, I think it's
It's
15. It's like 15 streams per equals one album or something like that.
Yeah.
Dude's got billions. So
Right,
Scorpion 5 times platinum. Nothing was the
Wow.
same 4 times platinum. Thank Me Later 3 times platinum. Those are mind blowing numbers in today's world. And he said it in one of his songs. He said if this was 10 years ago, a nigga would have went diamond. He's true though, because like
Hey.
in the 2000s when like physical record sales were still
Exactly.
hot, like
Yeah.
Nelly, 50 Cent, Eminem, they were all the ones going diamond.
Right.
So if he existed in that space, he's right. He would have went
yeah,
diamond.
Yeah. That's I mean, I don't think it changes my take on it,
Okay.
because I just got this feeling that Michael's got some even crazier stats. But
It's compelling evidence though.
when somebody asks me like who's the best to do it in my generation, I mean, come on, bro.
Right.
I don't want to hear Jay-Z. I don't want to hear.
Right.
I don't want to hear Nas. I don't want to hear. I mean, I hate to say, I don't want to hear Ye.
Okay, let's talk about that, because that's one thing I feel like we need to talk about. I think that there has been a resistance of the acceptance of Drake's greatness
Yeah.
on the internet specifically, where
Yeah.
you'll see a lot of rappers or just random internet people give you their top 5 takes.
Yeah.
And it typically consists of Jay-Z, Nas, Eminem,
Right.
Biggie, Tupac, the
Yeah.
typical suspects, the usual suspects.
Yeah.
And it's almost popular to say, like, if you mention Drake in that era,
Yeah.
they're like,
Blasphemy.
they're like, Drake, bro, Drake, really? And it's like, wow.
That
I don't
nigga
know.
just sing music, bro. He's not even a rapper.
I don't know what he has to do at this point. If we're talking, okay, well, fuck album sales. Okay, that's like huge, but okay. But what about his bars? What about his artistry?
Right.
We could. I don't want to get too deep into it, but like, it's a compelling argument for Drake. Like, really compelling. But if we pull the Michael Jackson numbers out,
Oh my god.
I only got to say one thing.
Yeah.
He had the highest selling album in history with Thriller, over
much?
100 million records and counting. Actually, a little bit more than that, but
100 mil.
that's where they put it at. Like, Over 1 billion records sold altogether, singles and album. 1 billion.
1 billion.
Not streams, like actual.
I don't think I've listened to the collection of music in my lifetime over 1 billion times.
You know
I don't
what
think
I'm
I've
saying?
listened to that many songs in my lifetime.
That's all I gotta say when it comes
You know
to
what I'm
Michael.
saying?
Like,
I don't think I got 1 billion hairs on my beard. I don't think I got 1 billion cells in my body. I probably do. I'm just saying, like, 1 billion
That's
is
a lot.
like,
That's a
golly.
lot.
Like, what if somebody told you to run 1 billion miles?
bro, there's
I know it ain't
only
the
like
same, but like,
there's like 8 billion people in the world, and to know that like 1/8 of those people,
facts.
you know what I'm saying?
He was making music for everybody, and somebody brought to my attention too. Like, I'm not gonna say he leveraged it, but like, bro, music back then meant a little bit more.
Right.
You know, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on now. But there's a lot going on in Michael's era too that I think, like sonically, he was able to almost provide therapy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Motown movement, period. But that's crazy because, again. And then you make music, bro. For somebody to hit play on your song, that means something. Even if it's one person,
Right.
8 billion people pressing play is crazy.
That's a lot. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, that's real crazy.
So I think we've both presented compelling, arguments. I think at the end of the day, though, it's not really a debate because they both exist in two different categories. But at the end of the day, it's it's Michael. It's Michael.
Let me ask you this: if you were to like DJ a party, house party,
Yeah.
like our demographic of people, our age and stuff like that,
Yeah.
would you
Millennials and
what
Gen
what
Zs.
would you rather do? Only Michael, spinning only Michael, or spinning only Drake?
It depends. So what is the theme of the party?
All right, I'm gonna give you.
If it's like a Halloween party,
Okay.
or like a throwback party,
Got you.
MJ all the way. They're not gonna
Okay.
want to hear that. If it's like just like
Okay,
pull
I'm-
up and it's like a regular house party, I'm going Drake.
I got you. Okay, so let me give you a random scenario.
Okay.
Let's say somebody calls you to DJ a dinner/party at the White House. What are you playing?
I'm playing Michael Jackson.
All right.
Michael Jackson's got a prestige to him now since his music has aged like fine wine.
Right.
Drake is as well, but he's still existing in a space where he's
Yeah.
just like with the young kids still.
Yeah, you can't twerk in the White House.
I
mean, I'm sure somebody did.
You can.
I know JFK was getting twerked though.
You know what I'm saying?
Bill Clinton.
Before twerking was even a thing, he was
I did a
definitely.
couple.
But yeah, I'll
a
go
couple
MJ if we're talking like prestige, if we're talking like classics,
Yeah.
they're gonna want to hear some PYT, some Beat
Yeah.
It, some Billie Jean, some Bad. So
Right. Like,
absolutely.
what
but-
about like a rooftop LA?
Oh, Drake.
Drake.
Straight Drake. That's
Straight Drake.
rooftop LA.
Yeah.
Drake.
The cool
All
thing
the
about-
baddies gonna want to hear that.
All the baddies, yeah. You
They're
gonna
gonna
get.
put on for all the dogs.
He's so misogynistic, but like,
I love
goddamn.
that.
Yeah, I feel
That's
it, bro.
the thing I love about him.
And your boy's gonna turn up too.
Right.
Like, I don't think that's just like Michael Jackson doesn't make bad music.
Right.
But I feel like in a sense Drake doesn't miss. You know what I'm saying? Like Drake won't miss the vibe. Like Drake has so much music that like
Facts.
even though you like it, you're also gonna be like into it. You're gonna
Right.
be like immersed by it. And I think that's
Yeah.
dope because let's say there's a little bit of like a melodic song.
Yeah.
The next song gonna be something for the boys. And the next song gonna be something for like the listeners, like the real hip hop enthusiasts. And the next song is gonna be back to the ladies. You know what I'm saying? He got an arsenal. I feel like he
That's a hell of a statement. You said
this thing got the rings like Thanos.
say that again one more time. You made a hell of a statement, man. You said Michael did what?
Hell of a made that statement. No, like Michael makes great music. I think Drake just doesn't miss. And I don't know if that even like resonates with everybody, but like there's a vibe that Drake hits with every song too. That's interesting because he got a song for damn near like any moment. You know what I'm saying? And,
All hits, no misses. That's for the merry folks.
Yeah, man.
I mean, he said it himself,
Yeah.
So I think we can dead the argument because at the end of the day, we both agree.
Yeah.
MJ's greatness it's classic. It's vintage. It's like that's MJ,
Right.
And Drake is Drake,
Drake is
but they're
Drake.
both great. They're both
great.
goats, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, and my final statements is I think MJ paid a little bit more attention to the music. I think Drake pays a little bit more attention into the audience.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
The culture, the audience,
Yeah.
yeah. Because MJ was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be great.
Yeah.
Just cause that's
Right.
it. And Drake is like always got his ear to the streets.
Right.
Always got a fine tooth comb when it comes to the music, making sure he can touch all audiences from like the biggest demographic, right, from the ages of 16 to 45 and older, because people say in interviews, they go, you know, and I saw it myself. You know, you go to the Drake concert and it's like, I see 60-year-olds. I see 16-year-olds.
Your mama pressing play.
You know what I mean?
Your auntie pressing play.
Your grandma damn near.
Your wifey. I ain't gonna lie. When you say your wifey,
yeah.
You know how many niggas is like, yo, let's turn this shit on.
I'm turning it up because it's like them bars is hard. 8 out of 10, bro. Like that's one of his hardest songs on Scorpion. Bro,
that's crazy, dog.
But you see what's happening though? Yeah. We're getting like the lore and the fandom of Drake and getting into it.
It's like pulling me back this way.
You know what I mean? So it's like Michael Jackson. Yeah, he's great. Yeah, he existed in a different time. Yeah. So his greatness is different. Yeah. His shit is crazy because it's like bro would just stand there for like 10 minutes and people would just lose their collective fucking shit.
I've never seen people lose it.
Like
how
bro
Michael
would pose like this.
Yeah.
And he would just be looking.
Yeah.
And the crowd's fainting. Yeah. Everybody.
And why the fuck was there always the perfect amount of wind when Michael was on stage? Like, this nigga would always have the wind blow, like, adjacently to his hair.
Man,
his little shit be flying in the back. And girls would just be passing out. And
one
I'm
by
like,
one,
damn, bro. Like,
yeah.
You could have had, like, LL Cool J shirt off in the 80s like that, and maybe one girl gonna pass out.
Right.
Michael come on stage, he didn't even say anything yet. Like, the show is canceled, and everybody dropped out.
Dog.
Oh my god!
And he be wearing like a militant jacket with like pants and like a thong over the pants. You know what I'm talking about? And it's all bedazzled and shit.
Man. And when that song,
everybody's just losing he hadn't said one word yet. Yeah. Just his presence. Like that, they're like, that's Michael Jackson, bro.
He got the standing ovation before the performance.
Right.
Which is crazy.
Right.
That's crazy. So yeah.
In that regard,
yeah,
I will put Michael Jackson over Drake because of the fact that the cloth in which he was cut from, the ilk of his name was just unfathomable for people,
right?
And that's something that Drake doesn't possess.
Facts.
And I'm not saying he doesn't have like crazy and like dedicated fans, but it's in a different way.
Yeah, it's tough too because nowadays there's so much available. Like music is so available nowadays. Yeah. Where you don't have to listen to Drake if you don't want to. Back in the day, the radio was gonna play what it played. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think like lower or more underground artists weren't getting their records put in the stores and stuff like that. At least you couldn't find them as readily available. So
right.
But
it also touches base into what we talked about in last episode, where we talk about now that social media exists and is so prevalent, narratives and hatred and all these things can kill the icon. Well, I call it the
haters.
It's called the death of the icon because they're so accessible now.
Yeah.
That allure that Michael Jackson had is now gone because But it's good because in a different way, social media obsesses about Drake. Yeah. Everything Drake does. Drake went to the store today to buy some, whatever. Yeah. He went to Chanel to buy a bag. That's top of complex front page news. You know what I'm saying? Drake was seen today.
I saw a video. It was like a hate Drake video, but it was like Drake's the type of guy that says no more Mr. Nice Guy after he's pissed off, and it was like Drake's the type of guy that does this, like that. But like that's running business on him. You know what I'm saying? That's running. What do they say? No publicity is bad publicity, or all publicity is good publicity. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah, and
he is like I saw this TikTok that talks about how Drake needs to be studied because he is constantly in the cultural zeitgeist.
Yeah.
He's constantly in our minds.
Yeah.
And he's constantly persisting.
Yeah.
Mostly because of the frequency of his music.
Facts.
But also even when he's not dropping music, just his presence in pop culture events.
Yeah.
And Hollywood and all these kind of things, like having Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul at his birthday party bartending.
Facts.
I'm a big Breaking Bad fan. Yeah. Breaking Bad is like my favorite television show of all time. I
still haven't watched it. Please don't murder me in the comments.
Oh,
I haven't watched it.
Sound off in the comments on this guy.
Damn. Listen, I did. Listen. AMC.
You gotta watch it.
Listen, AMC did some big things. Okay, I did the Walking Dead walk.
Oh, okay.
I didn't do the Breaking Bad walk.
Now y'all can tear me up in the comments because I haven't watched Walking Dead.
And Mavi cannot survive if it ever came to that. You know what I'm saying? But luckily he has me here. I will give him.
I think the fandom of Walking Dead does usurp Breaking Bad, so I'm gonna probably get tore up.
I'm gonna say this though,
comments.
like people that watch Breaking Bad just like kind of like walk with this little like swag, like y'all low key know something. The Walking Dead people kind of do, but like
we be putting our pinky up when we drink our tea. You know what I'm saying? We got a little bit of class,
right? I be see y'all in the kitchen, y'all be extra like measuring shit. I be like, damn, what y'all got going? You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
let a nigga talk to
God
y'all
bless
funny.
Walter White.
Right.
God bless that man.
And like Walking Dead, I know this is a little bit of a sidebar, but Walking Dead was interesting because I've never been so depressed watching a show.
Really?
Because when they got hope, when they found the fucking crib, they found a village, they found a spot, the prison.
Yeah.
That shit was gonna get overran by zombies. Somebody gonna pull
Eventually.
up on some hating shit. You know what I'm saying? Or your best friend gonna get bit by a zombie and now he the op. You know what I'm saying? And that show just took it to a roller coaster because like you be like lit that they finally found like a little area to chill. Yeah. But like, bro, don't sit down.
Yeah.
Don't sit down. So.
I love Breaking Bad because just as a quick other segue, like Bryan Cranston is a masterful actor. Like he like instantly jumped up like levels in terms of my list of favorite actors, which we can do another day. Yeah. Sound off in the comments. Let us know who your favorite actors are.
Yeah, and he's a genius when it comes to that. So be careful if you want to argue something.
Appreciate that, my brother. Yeah. Bryan Cranston was a genius. Aaron Paul, no sleeper either. Very good actor. Okay. He was actually supposed to be a character that was cut out in season 1, was just ended up being so good. And him and Bryan ran the show. And we could talk more about it in depth. You got to watch it. I probably got to watch Walking Dead now, too. Yeah. Just so we can have conversations about that. It's a lot to watch. But it was just crazy to see that Drake had them at his birthday party because it's like, bro is like a pop culture pro. He just knows when to insert like crazy things to get people talking like right now. Yeah. And it's beautiful. And I'm taking notes. As an artist myself, I take notes because it's like, wow, bro, it's just, he's a genius.
At what level do you think, I heard people say like Drake is fake. Drake is like, catering to, whatever's hot. At what level do you think that's like that, if you even feel that way, or do you think it's good business? Because in my opinion, every business is looking how to market to the next new wave, to the next generation, to the next demographic. Like, do you feel Drake is doing exactly what he should as an artist, or do you think there's this level of like, I heard somebody say, it might have been Joe Budden or on his podcast, and don't butcher me if I'm wrong about that, but somebody said at some point you got to just hang it up. You know what I'm saying? At some point you got to just let it go and your era is gone.
So this is what I'll say. I don't know that man. Yeah. And I wouldn't put any judgments on that man. Yeah. I respect that man. Yeah. But for one thing I can say is I know from what I've seen that he has always been himself in one way or the other. Yeah. Even if it is him playing a character or putting on a character.
It's still Drake.
So like even in his newest album, he talks about like, Aubrey wasn't a gangster before, but I'm a gangster now, right? So what he's saying is that like I could put that hat on, but I'm still me, and you're still gonna, and I'm still gonna do it even more menacingly than those gangsters that you hear in those Sobe gangsters that look like the part, but they're not really the part. Like I'm actually more of the guy that'll make a call and get your boy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I feel like who are we to tell him? In terms of like if he's doing it right or not, because clearly it's working. Right. He's the biggest artist on the planet. Yeah. Like I said, he's always in the conversation of the cultural zeitgeist. Facts. And at the end of the day, I can see Drake making songs until he's 50.
He's smart. I mean, like I think it's a talent to be able to do that because, like you've told me, I've heard 1,000 times. If someone's hating on you, you're doing something right. You know what I'm saying?
In today's world, I'll say it again. Hatred is a new currency of acceptance and a show of greatness.
That's crazy.
It is.
That's crazy because your haters used to be something that people used to be like hung up about.
That's right.
Now you almost look for it. You know what I'm saying?
And the reason why I say that is because it's a like I said, it's a social currency. Yeah. So if you drop something and it gets all positive comments,
facts.
Either they're bots or the quantity of comments you got is not really that much, right? If you're an up and coming underground artist and everybody's showing you love,
it's your cousin, it's Auntie Trisha, you know what I'm saying? It's your manager from work,
right? If you're getting a whole bunch of critical comments, hate can come in many forms. It can come in legitimate criticisms. Facts. It can come in gossiping about what they think you should do or about your life. Facts. Those are things that are perceived as negative. Yeah. Right. So when I say hatred, it encompasses all of those things. Right. But what it's doing is it's achieving conversation. Yeah. It's achieving hype, and it's achieving a narrative about you.
Think about this too, and you're right. what bag you gotta be to be in your bed, 12 a.m. In your covers. Your covers is laying on you perfectly. It's warm as hell. You ain't got no reason to be in no bad mood.
Yeah.
And you sit there, go to someone's post, think about a fucking fucked up comment to put, and then to really type that shit out, and then put your phone right here and just think, and then sit back in your bed, go to sleep, like, yeah, nigga, like, yeah. Yeah, like, bro, you gotta be in the bag.
Not the arms crossed.
Yeah, not the arms. You cross your arms in your bed, bro. Like, you really gotta be on one. And I think
just elated with themselves, just so happy that
your brain is processing so much information on a specific individual. Where like they're like, that's good business.
You know what I think it is? And this is
I need
really,
you.
This is really deep.
Okay.
It gets into a form of social acceptance because when we go to school in high school, what do? You do things that'll get you more accepted.
Facts.
It's a way in which we as humans, even grown adults, still need that acceptance.
Yeah.
We as humans need acceptance.
Yeah.
It's a part of our. People can tell you like, oh, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
That's not true.
Yeah. It's a lot of what about me niggas.
Right, exactly. As humans, we need interaction and social acceptance. If we don't get that, then we go crazy.
Yeah.
So those people that comment, they're often saying like terms that are acceptable or hot. Bro's glazing.
Yeah.
He's just yapping.
Yeah.
Da 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 da. Because they seen other ratio in the comments. Whatever.
They don't even want the artist or the individual they're commenting on to respond. They want the comments and the commenters to respond.
That's right. They don't care about the post.
Yeah.
They're gonna say something around it, but they themselves kind of want something from it. And hate does that because it causes a stir in your brain.
Yeah.
You're not gonna focus on someone saying, "Damn, that was a great album, Drake."
Facts.
You're gonna focus on the guy that said something funnily negative. He said something that was like negatively hilarious.
I think in a more deep note, I think it's something impressive when you can shed that hate, but even better when you can embrace it.
That's right.
It's gonna sound corny, but like, bro, laughing at yourself is so liberating.
Yeah.
Like if I came out with an album, I don't make music. If I did come up with an album and like 5 people said it was good and like 2 people said it was ass, but those 2 ass comments were like the funniest comments, just roasting me, bro, I would embrace it. Like, bro, I do sound like Pee Wee Herman on the track. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do sound like a dumbass.
What you're explaining
I don't
is
know why I said Pee Wee. Rest in peace.
Oh yeah, rest in peace.
Rest in peace to the word of the day. Whatever he's to do.
Yeah. It's a badge of honor. It's a badge of honor. When you get hate now, it's like you shouldn't, as an artist or whoever that's posting things online, you shouldn't take it as a slight. It's a badge of honor and should be treated as such.
Yeah.
But I think we went on a good tangent with this, bro. Honestly.
Yeah. We did kind of go on it, but it's something to talk about because we're in a day and age where he's in his bag. What do you say? We're in the golden age of the Drake era.
Yeah.
So I think
we've been there for a while too.
Yeah.
We've been there. Like you can start at any starting point. You can start at Take Care. That was 12 years ago now at the time of this recording.
Yeah.
And then you can go from there. But I'll end with this. Both Michael Jackson and Drake are great in their own rights and rare. They're rare people, rare kind of people to be able to sustain that long because fame is a motherfucker. And also Drake handles fame in a way that's not clearly tearing him apart. He's still got his mind about himself.
Facts.
He still has his it seems like he's got himself in order. He knows who he is, and those things are respectable, you know. And we could categorize it in a bunch of different ways.
Yeah.
And it could lean in Drake's favor or MJ's favor. But one thing I'll close with is this: it's always going to be a debate. It's always going to be a topic because you couldn't throw anybody else in there with that. You couldn't say, you know, I mean, you could say some other people. You could throw Kanye in there. I'd say you could throw Kanye in there.
It's not many though.
Yeah, it's not many.
It's not many.
It's not many. And to be even in that like Drake or MJ conversation, bro.
Yeah.
That shit is crazy to me. So that's
more
what
slaps
I'm
than the Beatles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. We're gonna go and take a break.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Yeah.
After this short
do
little
some
break.
push up or something. Like don't just stay there. Do something. Move your body a little bit.
Yeah. So we'll be right back after this, y'all.
All right, so a little thing about life, y'all, okay? Sometimes you got to embarrass yourself to get to where you need to be, all right? Nobody in the fucking audience told me my fucking hat was jammed like motherfucking, I don't even know, the whole fucking first half of the episode, which is fine, though, because life is about, you know, embracing the little small things. Like Mavi said, we appreciate the flaws, especially in our women. Embrace them. but then get better at the other ones that just ain't embraceable. Anyways, where were we?
I take accountability in that too, because I was sitting there looking at them the whole time.
That ain't it, bruh.
I put my finger up. I'm like,
fix your hat.
We're back, y'all. We're back from the break. You
What's
know
good?
Hope
Let's
y'all
talk
doing
about
it. We're going to jump straight into it, man. We got a little bit of news with the Dwight Howard situation.
What happened with Dwight?
So what happened was, I'm going to go ahead and go to the article here.
He's not in the league no more.
Yeah, no, I think he's still playing in Taiwan, but
Oh my god!
According
that
to
nigga dropping 80 in Taiwan on 5'4" niggas.
According to AP, the Associated Press, it says Atlanta AP Dwight Howard has denied accusations by a Georgia man who says he was sexually assaulted by the former NBA star and another person. Stephen Harper filed a state civil lawsuit against Howard in July alleging assault and battery, false imprisonment, and intentional infliction. Yeah, we're going to get into it.
Damn, talking about beating a dude down on the post. He was beating somebody down?
I guess you could say that. He was beating him down.
He a real paint beast.
So no criminal charges have been filed against Howard. It's all alleged. I will say allegedly. In response, filed this week, his attorney, Howard, described the 2021 encounter at his home in Atlanta suburbs as consensual and requested that the case be dismissed. So what had happened was, it seems like, from what I've been hearing, from what the reports have been saying, legal reports allegedly, Dwight Howard was texting this man, and they were having a intimate conversation. He came over, and they did their thing. They made out, I guess.
Shit. All right.
And
Dwight Howard. Okay, I didn't know he was.
Yeah,
I didn't know he was.
Allegedly, this is all alleged.
Hey, it is what it is, Dwight. I ain't surprised. But
they're making out. The guy gets a little bit shifty, gets uncomfortable.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Yo, I'm trying to get going." And so allegedly, Dwight Howard says, "No, you're gonna stay and watch me have sex with another person who supposedly was a transgender person." And so that's the false imprisonment part of the lawsuit.
Okay. And
I guess the non-consensualness of it was he had to watch, and also he's saying their little makeout session wasn't consensual. So, lot to swallow, lot to take in.
Okay, so Dwight hit a dude up, pull up, let me give you some whatever. Then he boxed out the door like he was going for a rebound. It said
he went into his defensive player of the year mode.
He said, I'm boxing this shit out. I'm getting
two-time defensive player.
I'm getting a rebound. You gonna watch these balls. Good God. Damn, that's a big. Imagine Dwight Howard blocking your door.
Yeah.
What you about to do? Only thing I can see is like, then the Greeks just had that piece of wood that would come back and they all go heave and hit the door. Like, that's the only way. That nigga, it becomes the door at that point. God, he a battering ram.
Yeah, bro. God. It's a wild story. I'm going to just go ahead and preface it by saying this, man. At the end of the day, look, I'm gonna say this.
Boy.
At the end of the day, what you do in your bedroom is your business.
It's your business.
I'm not a proponent by any means of judgment on that.
I feel it. Keep it moving.
You know what I'm saying? But what I will say, it's shocking to hear that from Dwight Howard.
Okay. Especially the assault part.
Yeah. I don't know where that plays into what the story I just said was.
Yeah.
But you're talking about a regular sized man versus like 6'11" Dwight Howard. You know what I'm saying?
Versus a Titan.
Yeah, who you gonna believe? That Dwight Howard, you're gonna believe the regular sized man, you know? Right. So no judgments of what happens in the bedroom, but it is a wild story nonetheless.
I mean, to be 100, I've heard Dwight Howard was like, like tickling niggas in the locker room and like, so I feel like he kind of was moving that direction, which is again no judgment, but the assault part is crazy because that's a strong man. So like again, if you're trying to leave and Dwight's like, you ain't even ready for the show yet.
Yeah, I think what's even more unfortunate about it in like an amusing way is like just having to like sit there or like be witness to him just having sex with somebody else.
Was it another athlete? Like was a transgender athlete? Like what? Like
is your hands in your pocket just kind of like whistling like watching this happen? Like what is the energy in the room?
Right. Ding. Where you at? I'm actually watching Dwight.
Did it become like a little bit like Like you're one of those what do they call them? Those people that like to voyeurism, where you like to like look at people doing it.
Yeah, what's it called? Cuckolding?
Yeah, cuck.
Yeah.
No, cuck is when your wife is messing with another guy.
This is like reverse cuckolding when someone forces you to watch.
Right, yeah. So it's called voyeurism.
Oh, voyeurism.
Voyeurism, yeah. So it's like when you're not like wanting to do it, or like, maybe you do want to do it, but it seems like he was under duress, having to watch. It's just a weird situation. Like, what is it? You know, like, and I seen this interview right where Dwight Howard was talking about they just point blank asked him, "Are you gay?"
Yeah.
And I think his response kind of lent into what the answer is, but he's like, just sort of. My personal life, man. That's none of nobody's business.
Nobody's business.
Da.
You might as well go ahead and say it if you assaulting people.
Because if that's not, if like somebody asked me that point blank, I'd say no, absolutely not. Like I love women. But his response, it's a response without a response.
You might as well own up to it, bro.
Which is okay. It's not a problem.
It's not a problem.
But the problem is the story. It's like, what are you doing?
What do you do? Yeah.
Why are you making people?
And you're an athlete. Like, I mean, like, I just feel like that makes it awkward. Right. It's like, bro, like I'm getting sexually assaulted by Dwight Howard. Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like that's like.
You know what's funny? It's funny because I saw this TikTok where someone was like, the reports of his injuries kind of make a little bit more sense in context now, because like he had like knee injuries, neck injuries, back injuries. Like, what is bro up to that he's getting these bodily injuries on his knees, his back?
That nigga need maintenance. That nigga need maintenance for real.
Hey.
And so like when he's making the person watch, it like you already kind of uncomfortable from the makeout section.
Right.
So he's like going crazy and he's like, hey, eyes up here, eyes up here. Like what do you like? I don't understand that. Like that's
an intense situation.
That's intense. And again, like. And then the person that he's with, like the transgender person, like when do you speak up when this is going on? Like,
right, you're complicit too.
Yeah, like
you're an accomplice to this.
I don't think you innocent. Like you low key probably like plotted this whole situation out too. Like
just a bizarre.
Is he here yet?
Right.
I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Oh, he is there? Okay, I'm on my way. Hey, can you let him know that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. He's complicit in this. He's
that's kind of funky.
He's joining in on the merriment of making this man witness their sexual escapade.
I wonder if Dwight Howard had that like All-Star Game cape on, Superman stuff.
Right. Probably.
I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah,
if he's into that, he might be into some crazy little kinky shit. I don't know.
Superman.
Shout out to the 2-time defensive NBA world champion, one time with the Lakers in 2020, Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
No shade to that man. His personal life is his personal life.
This is personal life.
Everything we talked about is alleged. It's alleged.
Okay, Dwight, we ain't gonna speak on it no more. But like, bro, let it be true. Stephen ain't gonna have a field day on your.
Oh man, it's over.
I mean, Dwight, come on now. I mean, god damn.
These are things you can't summarily dismiss. You can't summarily dismiss this. Okay. I'm just saying.
Kendrick Perkins. Stephen A. Smith, you know what? This is the first time you never lied to the American public. My grandmama always told me to tell you, you gotta keep it a buck. And I ain't gonna lie, I played against Dwight Howard.
That's all I'm saying.
And he always was dominant. So this does not surprise Kendrick Perkins. Kendrick, why are you speaking to third person? Stephen A., shut the hell up. I don't know. I'm just going on the rant. But
Kendrick Perkins, that is not apropos.
Apropos.
That is not apropos.
Molly's like, Stephen A., can we just get back to the normal words, please? We're going to go on a break.
Yeah. By the way, Molly, you look nice today.
I mean, Molly, I ain't gonna lie, Molly. That dress is going for it.
Yeah, I like the colors. I like what you're doing with it.
You doing your thing, Molly.
That's all I'm saying. We watched too much First Take, clearly.
Y'all getting me. This is how I am.
Shout out Stephen A.
This is Raw Shot Raw.
Hey, shout out to Raw Shot's fucking Kendrick Perkins impression, though.
I could do better.
Golf clap.
I know Kevin Durant. That boy told me, and who the hell? Kawhi Leonard. I thought that was LeBron James. I ain't
damn.
Anyway,
damn. So yeah,
let me switch this whole thing up because that Dwight Howard situation is depressing.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I mean, again, that's a tall that's a tall order. Let me ask you this though. Like, we got this little thing going on, man, and what a great opportunity. Amor Fati as a podcast.
Talk about it.
We got a lot of like random, important, deep, non-important, funny, sincere, whatever topics that we're gonna like cover and go over and have a good time with. But like the name, you know what I'm saying? Like if somebody were to like, if you were to put somebody on, like y'all got a podcast coming out,
Right.
I have a podcast rolling, like
Yeah.
this is the name. They're gonna be like, okay, cool. How do you spell that? What the fuck does that mean? Like,
Right.
where did this name come from, man?
What is it about?
Because I know where it came from, but like, tell these motherfuckers where it came from.
So Amor Fati
Oh, yeah.
is a Latin term, and
Okay.
I actually got this from a movie
Okay.
starring Morgan Freeman and
My name.
Florence Pugh.
It's Morgan Freeman.
And in the movie, Florence Pugh was a substance addict, and Morgan Freeman was a recovering. Well, he was 10 years sober or decades sober alcoholic.
Okay.
And in the movie, they're at the dinner table, and if you've probably seen this movie, you know what I'm talking about. It's called A Good Person, by the way. Shout out to this movie, great movie.
Okay.
And
Shout out.
he's at the dinner table, and she sees a tattoo, I think, on his wrist.
Okay.
It like sort of peeks out, and she's like, "What is Amor Fati?" And he said it is a Latin term that describes not only accepting
Yeah.
but loving one's destiny.
Yeah.
And not only trying to avoid your destiny, but like chasing after it expeditiously.
Yeah.
Chasing after it ambitiously and passionately.
Right.
And accepting and loving that this is my destiny for
Yeah.
my life.
Yeah.
It's half fate, half leaving things up to chance, in my opinion.
Right.
And it applies to this podcast because I feel like we've been talking about this for a long time. We
Yep.
are artists.
Yep.
We believe in manifestation. We
Yep.
believe in the law of attraction.
Yep.
And in those beliefs, we feel like there's a destiny out there that's left for us.
Got you.
And us doing a podcast and showing the world who we are is moving towards that destiny that we're in love with, that
No
fate
doubt.
that we are chasing.
No doubt.
So just to put it in context, we are exemplifying being in love and being passionate about the things that you want to do and you really believe in, and going for it. If it's quitting your job to start something that you believe in, a business or a salon or a clothing brand or this, that, and the third. If you're an artist, going out on a limb or starting a podcast with your buddy, do it.
Yeah.
And be in love with it and accept that this is the fate that we live in. And that's pretty much where I'll wrap it up at, man.
I'm waiting for the live studio audience to clap with me. Come
Thank
on,
you,
y'all.
thank you.
All right, they on some bullshit. That was well said. And I mean, you let me know about that, but I think the audience needed to hear that. I heard somebody say success is the progressive realization of a worthwhile dream, and that if you go and talk to people that have gotten to quote unquote where they wanted to be, it's nice getting there, but like cliche as it sounds, it's the journey that gets you the most excited. I think who you become is always better than what you get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when you become someone, you can get whatever you desire. And once you become that person,
Right.
If you become the person that is healthy, then you get the body, you get the well-being, you get the longevity. You know what I'm saying? If you become confident, you get the girl, you get the guy, you get the job, you get the opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
Confidence is everything.
I think that also shining light on the name and how you broke it down. Again, going back to like how the episode second half started, my hat was fucked up the whole first episode. But like I don't attach myself to like embarrassment as it being a bad thing. Like now I know, like, bro, check your fucking hat before you go live. You know what I'm saying? It still might be fucked up now, so I may not be using my own advice. But
Right.
there's an element of life where you swear that like things are going bad for you, and you don't know like what God got for you. You don't know what the universe got for you. You don't know whatever you believe in is pushing you into.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And I feel like to understand that, like, because if you pay attention to your life, there's things going on at some point in your life that you don't know why they happen, and it happened to your advantage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if those moments are something that you can be aware of and appreciate, then when it gets bad, why not feel the same way? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people heard this situation. I mean, this quote, but life is not happening to you; it's happening for you. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I'm not gonna lie, there's some scenarios right now in this world that I can't even bear. I can't even get my mind to understand how hard that might be.
Right.
Now, and I speak with a little bit of ignorance when it comes to the extremes of life, but a lot of us, especially on this side of the planet, we live a life that is definitely fortunate, and I believe so much in the name of this podcast because taking every moment in and embracing it. It's your moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're benching at the gym and that weight hits your chest and you can't get it up and you embarrassed, you gotta like knock the weights off. You know what I'm saying? Hey, don't put a clip when you benching if you can't lift that weight,
right?
Because you're gonna look stupid. But that's my point.
Period.
You're gonna look stupid, but like embrace that moment. I remember when I looked stupid because that moment taught me something. You can either leave the gym and feel like a weak person and never go back and let that moment scar you, or you can come back in the gym and be like, okay, cool.
Right.
Let me lower this weight a little bit, but I'm gonna be that person that does push this. And
beautiful.
Yeah, like this is gonna be hard to hear, but sometimes there's a person that can come to this realization that like a lot of things that I thought were bad weren't bad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like that is like almost the embodiment of the name of this podcast. That we just go with what we have in our minds, and bad or good review, bad review. We love all of it.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's progression.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Interaction. It's making contact with people that we never would have.
I wish I had a violin right now. I just surrogate us right now.
Play some musical Chopin.
Yeah.
Some beautiful shit. Play some Beethoven. Hey, look, that's beautiful though, man, because it's like we're connecting with people that we never would before.
Yeah.
Whether it is good or bad.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too. It's like just to quickly top it off a little cherry. The name has a purpose in it.
Facts.
The podcast name is purposeful.
Right.
And I love that. I love that it has a meaning. And it could turn into something very beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just starting as a conversation between two bros, but it
Right.
could turn into something. It could be something fucking really worldwide epic that takes us to some bigger places.
Exactly.
Like the White House or like the UN speaker
Wait, did you
conference.
say the White House? Like the White? I don't want to go. I heard
We're not going back to the White House. We ain't doing that.
the White House.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I mean, there's a lot of allegations going on. I don't know what it is. I'm just saying.
You can't summarily dismiss that. No, but it has meaning. It has purpose. It has meaning. It has purpose, and I love it, man. It just makes sense. And we always get inspiration. We pull inspiration from everything. So I just wanted to be upfront with where I got the inspiration from.
Facts.
It was just some movie I watched one day, and it just spoke to me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Amor Fati.
Yeah.
And then we talked about it.
You know.
And you were like, yo.
Fun fact too. I don't know if you remember. I said, "Yo, what if we had a name that was just like something like crazy different, like
Yeah.
something Latin?" And you were like, "Bro, I got a name. Bro, I have a name in Latin."
I just watched the movie when you said that. I'm just because I'm thinking of all these names,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I think if you went around Detroit right now,
Yeah.
Detroit metropolitan area, that's where we are right now, y'all.
Yep.
You couldn't go. You could probably interview 1,000 people and no one would know one Latin word.
Sheesh.
I probably would put money on that.
No
Nah.
Latin words?
Now-
Like e pluribus unum or something on the back of the dollar?
Hey, now I don't know they plebis. That's not like a Harry Potter spell. Luxum balaxum.
I think
don't know.
I think it means something like along the lines of as all we are one or something like that. Some Illuminati
Nah,
stuff.
it sound like some Harry
it's like
Potter
it's like
shit.
some New World Order Illuminati
What do
shit.
you say?
man.
The garden made the grass grow.
Yeah.
Well, made the grass grow.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
Gavi
right.
and live the grass grow.
Right.
Whatever he said, made the grass grow.
Yeah, that's the only Latin that I would know outside of it. I know there's people that probably a lot more, but that's the backstory behind the name of the podcast. Let's jump into the next topic before
Okay.
we get out of here today, guys.
All right.
We're gonna go through a couple of quick rapid questions, and we're just gonna get to it. We're just
Turn
gonna
my
have
Iron Man suit on.
We're gonna have some fun with it. Okay. Spider-Man or Iron Man. That's a perfect little segue.
You see my hands just now? I swear. You would think Iron Man because my hands, but there's something about Iron Man that is dope. But he ain't really like bio wise. He's not a superhero. He's a super genius.
Okay.
And you take that suit away. Let's say his suit was on. It was in maintenance. All 8 of the motherfuckers was in maintenance.
And he got more to 8.
And Thanos decided to come on Thursday evening.
No, Tony Stark is so smart that he'll like press a button and have
Yeah.
like hundreds of suits come into like
But
attach.
what if they all was at the cleaners? And
He'd have backups to the backups.
that's true. He probably
Tony Stark always had a plan.
he always had a plan.
He always had backups,
but I'm gonna say
especially
this.
after the first Iron
Spider-Man. Shout out to my coworker. I'm gonna name drop. I'm gonna call him Z. My coworker is a huge Spider-Man fan, and he let me know about Spider-Man's abilities and how he kind of like reduces them a bit, and he kind of like suppresses them a bit. Spider-Man could kill anybody if he wanted to. We know this.
Wow.
Superheroes don't kill.
Yeah.
But I think in the last one too, where all 3 were together, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man was saying like he doesn't hold his punches back anymore. You know what I'm saying? Spider-Man has fought some crazy enemies, and so has Iron Man. I got to go Spider-Man though because Spider-Man had the youth Spider-Man was swinging through cities. Iron Man was flying through cities.
what?
Which is definitely, they're probably close. But at the end of the day, Iron Man got a game.
Yeah. Look, listen, man. I love Tony Stark. His
Yeah.
character arc,
Yeah.
especially in the MCU. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love him as Iron Man and as Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Very complicated character. But I gotta go Spider-Man. Spider-Man is Spider-Man, bro.
Yeah.
And if I were to choose, I would go Peter Parker.
Facts.
Miles Morales. I love Miles Morales and his stories where it's been taken in video games and movies and art.
Yeah.
Especially like Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see the next one.
Yeah.
But I gotta go Spider-Man, Peter Parker specifically because he's iconic. He's Spider-Man. Like you can't like his story arc has been told 1,000 different ways, and every time it's so interesting, it's so layered.
Yeah.
And it's like he can never get it right. He can never balance his personal life and his love for
That's
fucking
realistic,
helping people.
though.
And I think that's
realistic.
what's crazy about
Yeah,
it.
that's realistic. It reminds me of myself a little bit.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so let's get into the next one. What are your top 3? And this is tough. You might have to think about it. What are your top 3 favorite cartoons of all time?
Okay, so I probably would say in no order, Scooby Doo.
Which one?
Like the
Like,
1960s version.
Okay, yeah,
The
give me
old-
the specific shows.
Okay.
Not like just the characters.
Okay, so is it called the Scooby Doo Show?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, the
What's new? I think it's called What's New, Scooby.
No, not What's New, not Scrappy Doo, not
Mystery Incorporated.
Stevie Wonder Do I Do.
Right.
I'm talking about Scooby Doo, like
I think it might be called just Scooby Doo then.
yeah, like let's split up, gang. We know what Freddie was
So
trying to
the
really do.
1969.
Freddie trying to give them pants.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Daphne, let's go up into the
Yeah.
bedroom. Scooby and Shaggy go
Yeah.
into the basement.
Go into
for
the basement.
Like 30 minutes.
So did Freddie know low key where the monster was then? Because he always would send them niggas right where that shit was.
Hey, he was definitely sus for that.
So maybe he was like low key like the genius where he was like, I can get some ass.
Right.
I low key know what that monster is.
Right.
I'm gonna send these 2 clowns to get it because they low key keep getting them, the motherfucker.
Ruh-roh.
Like Scoob. What do we do?
Raggy.
So let me say this real quick. So Scooby Doo, the early versions, Fairly Odd Parents was crazy. I think that like Cosmo and Wanda low key raised me.
That's a great
and
show.
then
That's a slept on pick. Sleeper pick.
I want to say Jimmy Neutron. I want to say Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy Neutron just one of those things where like if I had a scary movie I watched and I was like low key kind of like sweating it, I'd turn on Jimmy Neutron. SpongeBob's like a quick tie to like third place, but I think Jimmy Neutron kind of like
Dude,
for
Jimmy
me,
Neutron's goated.
yeah,
He's
it kind of
goated,
like
man.
supersedes that. What about you, bro?
So number 1 is the cartoon right behind me. For those that are listening in on this, I am
God.
speaking about Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Water,
Number 1 cartoon, in my
Fire.
opinion, of all time.
ice.
The storytelling, the character arc of Zuko, the comedic elements of Sokka and Toph, the serialization of the storytelling, meaning that at the beginning of the show we knew what was going to be at the end of the show. It spelled it out for you.
Yeah.
It's called serialization.
Yeah.
So that's number 1 for me.
Say that again.
Serialization.
I like that.
It's like not an episodic show. It's
Yeah.
serialized so that you know from the beginning what the stakes are and what's
Yeah.
going to be at the end.
You know where you're going.
And they took it there all the way, and it was a beautiful ride.
Perfectly.
I've watched Avatar probably over 20 to 25 times.
Yeah.
I watch it several times every year because it's my favorite cartoon, possibly show.
Yeah.
Maybe not show, but cartoon overall, easily. It's got the next pick beat by a mile. I've thought about this a lot. So,
Cheater.
And yeah, I've been thinking about it.
Go ahead.
In episode 2, number 2, my pick number 2 is a distant second, but it's also a great show.
Okay.
And it also has a serialization to it, and it's Gravity Falls.
That Cartoon Network show?
Disney.
Oh, Disney? Like
Yeah.
the teenagers?
No, it's the kids that with like the Bill Cipher, the Illuminati triangle looking guy, and they solve mysteries in Gravity Falls.
Wow. I mean, I never got into it. I don't know anything about it. Yeah, talk about it.
It's if Avatar didn't exist, that show would be number 1 for me. But shout out to Alex Hirsch, who's the creator of the show. Bro was just like on something different because I can't even get into it right now. I can't it's so deep, like how layered the show is, how much lore is in the show, and how it's connected to the Rick and Morty universe.
It is?
It's connected to the Rick and Morty universe, if you didn't know. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. And there's literally like an iceberg of the show that you can get into. That's a little bit more nerdy.
Okay.
But number 2 is Gravity Falls. We can get into it into another episode. Number 3 is gonna be Regular Show. I love Regular Show.
Oh my God, yeah.
Mordecai and Rigby.
Whoa.
Whoa. No, but like that's like. Come on, dude.
Man, let me just say this real quick. You inspired me, bro. You could take something as simple as a Disney show. You know, the writer. You know, like the whole way you broke that Gravity Falls show down. They have a whole
that would be an entire hour-long episode. Me going into it,
like, bro. Like, I feel like you like do like a whole another like breakdown of stuff.
A thesis on the show.
Yeah, you submit it. You mail the writer. You know what I'm saying? You get access to like the next.
So
season.
At the beginning of Gravity Falls, just to not nerd out too much, at the beginning of Gravity Falls, when you listen to it, there's like this little, it's like in the theme song, it goes, it's like a whisper. You play it backwards. It's like like a cipher. And every week when they played it, there was like a cipher that you'd have to break down. And it played into clues into the show. So it's like, dude, the show was so fucking good.
Bruh, how old were you when you watched that?
When it first came out, so like 2012, 2013, I was like 17, 18.
Okay, so what was our breaking down 17, 18 other than Ace of a Flower? Nothing.
Yeah.
I wasn't breaking down shit. You had to break it down for me. You know what I'm saying?
I think this is how we'll end.
How did you know that? I'm sorry. How did you know that?
I just, bro, when I get into like these kind of shows and I can
get into the lore of it.
I can get into Avatar. I can get into Regular Show.
Yeah.
Regular Show has an iceberg as well of things that I know about. But we should do that for the next episode. We should talk cartoons.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit more lighter.
Got you.
And I know people in the comments will sound off.
Yeah.
Because hella people love those shows.
Facts.
It's including your shows.
Facts.
There's a Jimmy Neutron iceberg we can get into. So
no,
we can
do that. I wanted to. Let me keep it what it was.
You know what I mean? So
you know
it gets crazy. But we'll go ahead and end the episode with that, man. We'll talk about our favorite cartoons. And sort of how it affected our childhoods, nostalgia reasons, and things like that. What do you think?
Right. That's a great idea. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I don't have the Picasso breakdown and the Da Vinci Code of Philly Odd Parents.
We can just talk about how it made us feel. You know,
is that enough for you?
We can keep it simple.
Is that gonna suffice?
Like Cosmo and Wanda were funny as hell. You know, Jimmy was always up to some. He was always inventing shit that was just really low key, making it worse.
Trying to challenge me. I get it. You know, I like the challenge. You know what I'm saying? Because I am an intellectual, just in other facets.
It wouldn't even be a challenge. It's like nah. Yeah. But yeah. So we'll talk about that next episode.
Hey, I'm down,
man.
bro. Let's
get it. Thank you guys for tuning into episode 2 of the Amor Fati podcast. That's capital AMOR, capital FATI.
Spell check.
I'm Mav.
I'm Raw.
And you just tuned in, man. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoy our content. Also, hit that bell icon to get notified if you want to see more of our videos. We drop every single Friday.
Consistency.
Period.
Listen.
And if you want to keep tuning into the best conversations in the world, you know, we do this out of the love of our hearts and out of our own pockets. So if you want to contribute, go ahead and hit that Patreon link below.
Yep.
We left it for y'all. That's enough cyber begging for now. We'll see y'all next time, man. Peace.
And don't forget, if it is to be, it's up to me.
Damn.